What's up, everyone? It's your favorite marketer and podcast host. My name is Prit. I am the author of 0 to 4 Figures, a marketing strategy consultant, and a digital entrepreneur as well. A few of the roles that I do take on: I'm a podcaster, YouTuber, Etsy shop owner, and a Skillshare teacher. All of the links are in the description box below if you would like to check it out. On this podcast, I shuffle between giving solo podcast episodes and bringing in experts to give you actionable steps on various marketing, business, and mindset strategies to help you grow the business you love. Today, it's a solo episode, and this is a milestone one. This is my 100th podcast episode, and I'm so excited. Honestly, it's going to be a pretty short one, as you guys know, with my solo podcast episodes. But first off, for this 100th podcast episode special, I do want to thank you for being a part of this incredible journey that I have taken on. I still remember the time that I was debating whether to take up the podcast journey or not, and I told my mom, I just went up to her and I was like, "Ma, I'll do a podcast." And then she said, "Yeah, okay, well, what do you need?" And I can't believe it's been 2 years. I started exactly in September of 2020, and it is now October of 2022. And so much has happened over the last 2 years with respect to my podcast, with respect to my professional life, with respect to my personal life as well. And it's just been incredible for me to have this milestone. Honestly, when I first started out, I did not think that I would have this milestone. When you're starting out at zero, oftentimes 100 podcast episodes can seem like a very far way to go. And when I started out, oh God, I don't think I ever thought. But of course, at the corner of my mind, there was this tiny little hope that I would get there at some point. And for me to have made it in 2 years, I think it's been pretty awesome. And a few of the other milestones that I've hit with this podcast is I've ranked top 100 in India for marketing. And not just that, I have also my podcast has been ranked top 10% global. So those are things that when I first started out, I had absolutely no idea that this would be the path, or this is where it would lead me. So very grateful, very blessed of how this journey has turned out. And of course, we've got a long way to go. I understand that, I know that, and I'm determined to take us there. But today, I think it's important that we take a step back and we appreciate how far I've come and how far you and I have come as well. I know that some of you have been here since the beginning, since my first episode. And it's just amazing to have you be a part of this journey as well. So yeah, that's what it is. And I do want to, share the biggest lesson that I've learned with the first 2 years of podcasting. And that is, it's all about just showing up, honestly. If you ask me how I've made it 2 years in, there have been days where I did not feel like doing. There have been times where I did not feel like showing up, but it's just really all about showing up. You've just got to say, nope, I'm going to put this content out there. I'm going to be there. I'm going to show up. And that's really what it is. I mean, you will have 1,000,001 excuses. And trust me, you will have the most weirdest excuses not to show up. Like you don't have podcast equipment, or your voice is not proper, or you feel you're too shrill, or you just don't feel like it, or the weather's too cold, or it's raining outside. I mean, you're gonna have numerous number of reasons for you not to show up. And I think part of this journey, entrepreneurial journey, not just a podcast, is understanding what are legit reasons and what are just excuses, and moving past those excuses and just showing up. So guess that would be my biggest lesson with respect to the podcast journey, because there have been times where I could not show up, there have been times where I could show up, there have been times where I had legitimate reasons for not showing up, sometimes excuses, and of course learning how to overcome those excuses. And showing up has been an integral part of this journey, and I can't believe I'm at the 100 episodes. Wow, slipped my mouth, 1,000 slip, which means we're gonna get there. I also do have to thank the amazing guests who've come on my podcast, shared their invaluable insights with all of us, not just you, but me also. I've taken so much of knowledge, and I think that one of the things that I'm grateful for with this podcast is that it gave me an opportunity to meet amazing people, brilliant minds, experts in their own fields, and I really am grateful that this podcast opened up that part for me. And I think one more thing that I'm really grateful for is that this podcast is a safe space for all of us, for me to share my thoughts, for you to listen in, for you to relate, and for you to apply those things that we're talking about on this podcast for your journey as well. So for me, to have created something like that, it's definitely something that I'm very proud of, to be honest with you. And I hope to keep continuing on this path, definitely. I'm very excited for what's to come with respect to the podcast. Of course, now that I've published my book and I'm back to my normal routine of content creation. Of course, I love podcasting. It's one of my favorite things to do. Content creation, basically. It's one of my favorite things to do. And so I'm getting back to solo podcast episode. If you guys are watching the video version of this, you will know that I have podcast equipment now. I actually got it in December of 2021. My sister brought it for me. But the thing is, I didn't open it until October of 2022 because I really had to focus on my book and I had to get it out, and I knew that I would not be doing solo podcast episodes for quite some time now. So I finally am a little bit, I guess I would say, back to my normal routine, as I already said. And so I opened it up, and if you're listening and you really like how it sounds, well, it's new podcast equipment. And I think that's also one more thing that I do want to say is that the first 2 years of my podcasting, I did not have any equipment. I would just record on my phone, or I would record on my laptop, or just some sort of recording device like my camera. And you don't need fancy equipment to get started. I know that a lot of people say, oh, you need to buy this and this microphone or this and this. I've made it 2 years in, guys, and let me tell you, the content, the quality of your content really matters. And of course, at some point you will have to upgrade along with the content, along with everything else. But when you're starting out, don't let that be an excuse of why you're not getting started with podcasting, if that's what you want to do, or even any other aspect of content creation, or even this entrepreneurial journey for that matter. So yeah, it's been quite the year, guys. In terms of milestones, this has been a big year for me as well, and I'm very grateful for everything that 2022 has. I guess I have to say that I have made it happen. It's not that things have come to me. I think that's a very common misconception that people have. I do want to acknowledge the amount of effort that I've put in and where it has led me to this year. I'm getting very emotional at this point, frankly. But yeah, I'm very happy of what I have created for myself. And I think it's all about that. It's all about what you are determined to create and what you do create for yourself. It's just keep showing up, and I know there's a long way for me to go in terms of what my personal and professional aspirations are, but I think my main goal throughout every single thing that I will be doing and have done since the beginning is just working towards the freedom of doing what makes me happy in that moment of time. And I'm very, very happy and grateful that podcasting is actually one of them. And it's a place where I get to share my knowledge, my expertise, my thoughts with all of you. And you've also provided the safe space for me as well, right? To be authentic, to show up as myself. And that's something that I absolutely cherish, and I have to thank you for that. So thank you for that. Thank you absolutely for that. And I can't wait to see where we're gonna go from here. It's we've got quite the roller coaster left to go, and I'm very excited for what the future brings for us. More milestones unlocked and bigger dreams to achieve. So yeah, thank you so much for listening all the way up until here. I would love to catch up with you on my various other platforms. I'm there on Instagram at The Marketing Nomad. I'm there on YouTube as The Marketing Nomad. Where else? I'm there on Etsy as The Marketing Nomad CO, that's company. And I'm there on Skillshare as Prithvi Madhukar. And of course, if you are interested to know more about my book, I'll share a little bit right now. It's named 0 to 4 Figures. It just released in September of 2022. It's my debut business book. A debut book also, to be honest with you. And it's basically a compilation of 61 stories and lessons that have contributed to my entrepreneurial journey, the first 3 years of it. And it's got various chapters like business, marketing, what else? Self-love, because that's important. Positive mindset, growth mindset, success mindset, money mindset, and of course relationships as well, because that's also important. So yeah, if that's something that you're interested in, I will put the link to buy that book in the description box below. Also, you can always check it out in the nearest Amazon marketplace that it is available in. All of that will be put in the description box below. And of course, I am a marketing strategy consultant. If you feel that you need help with your marketing, definitely do reach out to me. I'm going to put the link again in the description box below. All of my marketing consultancy packages are listed on my website, including the prices. Very transparent there. So feel free to check it out if you have any questions or any queries with respect to this podcast or any of the services that I do offer. Please don't hesitate to email support@themarketingnomad.co. I will catch you guys in my next podcast episode. Thank you so much for listening all the way up until here, not just with this episode, but also the previous 99 of them as well. Thank you so much. Let's keep going. Bye-bye.